Greetings everyone, my name is Napoleon Complex and welcome to Try a Total War Saga. So today I am controlling Agamemnon's Mycenae and I am facing Hector of Troy's faction, though neither of those heroes are present in the battle, they're just led by a warlord. What I'm trying to do here is compare Agamemnon's Spearmen to Hector of Troy's Swordsmen and see how they do in combat with one another. Now, because Agamemnon's Spearmen are a little bit cheaper, I've taken 11 of them, but that's given me the savings to recruit a unit of militia for the same cost as 11 of these swordsman units. So these spearmen may be slightly more cost effective. The spearmen, as we can see, have more of an emphasis on melee defense and they are slightly better armoured and have slightly better morale. The swordsmen, however, do have the 9 more melee attack. They do 28 more damage, so when they do hit, they are more effective. For those who don't know, melee attack is accuracy, damage is, well, how much damage each blow causes, and they have a better charge, so we will see how this all interacts in the battle to come. Let's get into it. Okay folks, very basic setup here. I have my main force here set up in 2 lines. We have a front line, we have a reserve line. I have my general in the centre of this where he can command all of them effectively. Now we will be at the mercy of both my own and the AI's somewhat questionable tactical skill. But remember that the object here is just to see how the units interact with one another in a reasonable battlefield situation. We're not trying to analyse tactics in any great depth here. So we'll speed this up. Okay, so situation developing here. I can see that my opponent's line is slightly longer than my own. I'm going to lengthen my main line. The militia are faster, so they're getting ahead. I need to stop them. So that's something to do. Remember, some of the units here have different walking speeds, and they may get ahead of one another. They're really but of course, because these units are all in a group, they move in at the same speed. But because my militia are not in a group, they're moving faster. Whoops.
Your warriors have spotted hidden foes.
Okay. So just feeding my army into battle now. And I think we'll use our flankers around here at the back. Yikes, better get my reserves on to deal with that. Let's see. Strangely, I seem to have a lot of troops left in reserve. I think it's because the enemy crushed everything in. Well, we're trying to go unit for unit here, so I'm not going to go do anything too fancy in the flanking department, because we're trying to see how these units match up with one another. Let's see, we've got a good duel going on here, and ooh, the Agamemnon spearmen appear to be losing to the swordsman one-on-one. Now, let's see how things go when a flank attack gets involved. This is actually relatively even so far. Right, those militia are getting right into the back. How much can they swing the battle? Okay, they've caused some morale damage. Okay. Oh, great, and the heroes are getting involved. It's kind of hard to do a test when hero magic can suddenly cause a massive change in the balance of power. But this test at least is neutral. And this is relatively even as well, because there's no modifiers to either of these right now. It actually looks pretty even so far, but we've not had too much of an opportunity. We are about to break these units, so it does look like having a flanking unit around can help. Okay, they are clearly in need of reinforcements. So let's feed ours in.
Your warriors are losing heart.
Okay. And it would probably help if I used my own heroes to help. See, proof that you can cycle charge with any unit, even a humble unit of militia. So overall, my spears do seem to be losing, though. We've routed them, though, because of the extra units of militia we had available to us. Now it's 2-on-1 here. Let's move on and try and change the balance of power somewhere else. Get that into play. Okay, they've activated their special ability. Yeah, the AI is quite good about using special abilities to help it out. Also, one thing I noticed in earlier tests in this game is that pursuing troops are not actually very good at causing damage to routers. It seems to take them a long time to get anywhere on that front.
Your warriors have been routed.
Okay, we're starting to lose ground here. This fight's been going on for a while, and it's on neutral ground. And it does appear that the Spearmen lose 1-on-1 to the Swordsmen. In this battle test, at least. Because remember, these units haven't been affected by the interactions of the heroes. Activate my own Aristea. Oops, having ordered them out, I suppose I should probably go and send them in to help. Okay, we were outnumbered 2-1 there, so it's to be expected that we'd lose. We're definitely losing now.
Your warriors are rallying. Good order.
One encouraging sign in the game so far is that the AI does actually seem to have its head screwed on.
By Ares, your warriors are rallying.
Okay, can we get our militia into... So looking at the strategic area, we're losing 1-on-1, but can our flankers win the day? Okay, this isn't going to end well. Try and preserve them and drop a reserve battle line. They're routed. Okay, so we are making progress in places. And remember, all of this stemmed from that one militia unit that we had spare. It's so hard to keep track of the magic system. Well, not the magic system, you know, the special abilities. I was never a fan of special abilities in Total War. I don't know, but that's probably just me being a grumpy old school gamer who's annoyed that his favourite toy has been shaken up a little bit. They're weak, so they might actually fall to the militia. No, we don't really want to get our militia into a frontal fight. We are catching them in a kind of sack here. This would be a great time to go berserk. Okay, so with the extra, remember this militia unit has actually carried the day so far. It's interacted in and look at that. The enemy army seems to be breaking apart. But we do have the problem that their hero's still around, and he seems to be doing much better on the HP. No, we're doing fine. I think we've got the upper hand here. Okay, these guys are hiding and doing nothing. And that was without perfect interaction. So it goes to show, even though the swordsman may, and I say may, be better one-on-one compared to the spearmen, that little bit of cost effectiveness, that one extra unit in the battlefield, allowed me to decide the day. So if you are playing online, and if you're playing against someone else, bear in mind that if you can just spend a little bit less individually on each of your soldiers, get one other unit, then you can win the day. However, that was only one combat test. I'm now going to change factions, and I'm going to lead the Swordsmen, and the AI can lead the Spheres. So give me a moment to set that up. Okay, so this time as Hector's faction, I am drawn up in a crescent which is designed to be hard to flank, or a little bit harder to flank at any rate, due to the fact that I know I'm going to be outnumbered. I have 2 units in reserve. They can swing out to the flanks if there's trouble. Let's begin. And don't forget to hit toggle group lock to make sure you stay in formation. Right, we don't want to run, we want to walk, and I will back once we have got closer to the enemy. Okay, nothing exceptional about the close contact this time. So we are simply going to start our charge. See, well, the enemy are partially hidden here, which is making me a little bit nervous. But nonetheless, charge. Oh yeah, you don't have to double click, do you? Keep the reserves nearby.
Your warriors have spotted hidden foes.
Oh, yep, that's to be expected. I was wondering where they all were. Okay, that looks like a good place for the reserve. There's a gap in our line there. Keep them back in reserve. We're going to end up using up all our troops, and then the enemy is going to flank us. I need to get into combat here, because their general is going to be causing havoc. Right, so once again, let's have a look. And we do seem to be getting the upper hand on... Oh, that unit got caught in the flank somehow. And this unit... it's hard to make one-to-one comparisons in the chaos of battle. We're definitely winning over this unit, but...
is under attack.
Don't see anything I need to throw my reserves into. In fact, the enemy seem to have committed all their forces. Let's attack. No, I'm not, because we're trying to make unit comparisons here, I'm not going to commit to any flank attacks unless I have to. Instead, I'm just going to move troops in as my line starts to fail. And in the centre it's starting to fail. We need reinforcements over here.
Your warriors are losing heart.
That's hardly surprising given the situation in the centre. Yeah, reinforcements to the centre, please. You couldn't give me 5 seconds. Things are uncertain over here. Yeah, definitely keep them back in reserve. That unit broke early, they had quite a bit of strength left. But overall, things seem to be going okay. We have a unit in reserve. Once this unit rallies up, we'll have 2 units back in reserve. This unit is outnumbered 2 to 1, which is worrying. Good. Okay, send them over. Right, you guys can be the new reserve. We'll send some troops over to here to help where we're outnumbered. Because I think it's starting to tell now. These units are overlapped. Okay, and we've broken through, so obviously once the line's broken, we're going to fly straight into the sides. I'm going to be honest, that wasn't much of a dramatic charge, but they are attacked in flank, so they are penalised. Oh, we definitely want to use a rage. Weirdly, the enemy hero doesn't seem to be doing much. They came back. We hit them, and obviously, once the line starts to destabilize like that, it's very hard to recover. And so we can hardly blame the AI for losing control of the situation like this at this point. Yeah, all of their men are starting to run away. We'll activate our Aristea. Is Aristea or Aristea? Someone let me know in the comments. I don't know Greek pronunciations very well. Okay, right, the situation here is completely broken down, and yeah, this is the end of the battle. We are basically just roaming wherever we want to go now. If there's a skull on the routed units, then that means they're shattered. It was just a running man, they're broken, and they may come back to the fight. Now, the only section of the battlefield which is in some doubt at this point, I think, is the centre, where we do actually seem to be having a little bit of hassle. And I suspect that's just due to the sheer concentration of spears here. But even here they're breaking up. I don't think this battle is long for this world. One thing I noticed about the balance of powers is not particularly helpful. That tiny shift actually means there's been a decisive sea change. It doesn't... And I think we're about to see it slide all the way over. Oops, someone's routed. Who ran away in the middle of all this? I don't know if you've noticed yet, but we're doing rather well. Well, once they rally, they can go help our hero, who seems to be having a little bit of trouble with his opposite number. Yeah, that's not actually good. Go help him out.
Victory is close enough to taste.
Oh, there you go, the enemy army's breaking apart, fragmenting apart. They're going to have army losses soon. There they go. Alright folks, so the lesson seems to be that the swordsmen will generally win from the front, although I'm not certain about that. This is just a preliminary test. Other people will have to have a look at this, or I could be persuaded to give it a second go. People are skeptical in the comments. But overall it looks like the swordsmen can win from the front, but you may be able to squeeze enough cost effectiveness out of the spearmen that another unit can get around the side and decide the battle. Anyway folks, I have been Napoleon Complex. Thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you another time. Farewell.